So welcome to JG's Fight Talk, and yeah, I'm happy to say I've got one with me now. I've been after for a while. I've got Archie Sharp. How you doing, Archie?
I'm very well, thank you, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. In the midst of the chaos that's going on, obviously got a little one not so long ago, so it's all back to square one for you, mate.
Oh, it's busy here, mate. Yeah, very chaos in my place. I was kind of hiding at the minute to get myself away, but yeah, very busy here, but it's all good.
Yeah. No, love to the family, mate. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's good times, isn't it? Good times.
Yeah, very good times. Challenging when you're in camp, but it is good, mate. You just got to take, do you know what I mean, embrace it all, and because like you know yourself, mate, enough goes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. Do you find it gives you a drive? It gives you another drive to work harder and get more for the family?
Yeah, for sure. Like, at the end of the day, when I first started, it was just myself. Do you know what I mean? I was boxing for myself, and now you got kids, family, and everything else. It's for them now. It's like you're out the picture. Look, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm doing it because I love the sport, obviously. But I mean, it, that's what makes you the drive even more important, and the sacrifices and everything else more important is because it's not just for myself. Do you know what I mean? It's for them.
Yeah. And you've been around a little while now, to be fair.
Mm,
23 fights, 23
yeah.
wins, 9 knockouts. And what was it? July 2015 was your first fight. It's
Yes,
crazy.
July 15. Yeah, July 15. You caught me there. Yeah. So that yeah, you're right. Yeah. So my debut at the as a professional, the All Call was in July 2015. So yeah, what's that? Been around the block, getting there.
It's scary, isn't it, mate? It go as you say, it goes so quick. So what's that? Yeah, 8 years.
8 years as a pro now, yeah. But you know what? Them 8 years, it's been obviously I've had a couple of years there where I've had a bit of inactivity due to injuries and politics and things. So, like, it has been a long time, but also it doesn't feel as long, if you know what I mean. It feels like it's kind of just gone pretty quick. Still feel fresh as a daisy. I don't feel like my career's actually properly kicked on. I reckon the next fight that we have is when things really do kick on.
Yeah. And yeah, I dare say it sounds like his name was Fekit, but do you know what I mean? Fekit.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
It's a dangerous one. But yeah, as you say, you then kicked on to 2018 in October against Leon Woodstock when you won your first title. But you seem to have jumped the British scene and jumped the English scene. And was it just whatever came up at the time? You just thought, I'll go for it.
Well, at the time, Woodstock was unbeaten and he was the champion, and obviously we was both under Frank. So, and I think, I remember being a 4-1 underdog in the bookies. So, that was kind of our first leap, was to take that fight on as a fight that we knew that we could win.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, he was the champion, and there was a lot of talk at the time about Leon. So he was 11-0. I was got a funny feeling. I was probably about 12, 13-0.
It
So
was
yeah,
a
we've done
close.
that,
Yeah.
and then obviously for me, for winning that title, I really wanted to kick on, which I did do because it put me top
Yeah.
15. Then before you know it, I'm ranked number one in the WBO. However, it still wasn't the kick on that I really expected to get. Do you know what I mean? I would have thought I'd have boxed for a world title by now for sure. But like I said, I come across a few political roads that I had to deal with. But we're over that now, and we look to move on.
Yeah. You seem somewhat disappointed, even though your career's been great.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm very grateful and very thankful for where I am so far in my career for sure. But I mean, like,
Personal goals, isn't it? Personal goals.
yes, personal goals. I wanted to be a world champion by now. But what? Everything happens for a reason. Obviously, beginning of the year, we brought Roy Jones Jr. onto the camp,
Yeah.
and then a few other things. So there's a few things in the pipeline, so which I'm very excited about. So timing's great. Do you know what I mean? I think everything happens for a reason, and there was a reason why I didn't box for a world title sooner. So no, it's all good.
I think that's mad, isn't it? To think you've got a boxing legend now in
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in
yeah,
your corner. You must be buzzing having someone like that who's been there, done it at the
yeah.
highest level on so many different levels, and you've got this guy who's pumping the experience and the knowledge in your direction.
It's unbelievable. And the thing is, there's been a bit of criticism because obviously the whole Eubank thing, but like I've been saying to so many people, Eubank and me are two different fighters. Like, at
Yeah,
the end of the day, we're two different fighters. Eubank is what Eubank is. Look, it comes across very arrogant, as people see. And me personally, I feel like he doesn't probably listen to Roy as much as he should. Do you know what I mean? I feel like he thinks that he's where he is and wherever. Do you know what I mean? Whereas myself, I soak in the knowledge. I feel like it's working a lot. And how can you not listen to the man? You know what I mean? Like you say, he's one of the best ever to lace gloves. He's been there, done it, and So I'd be stupid not to listen to the man.
Yeah, yeah. You've always been there as like a team effort, haven't you, with your team? You've always been surrounded where, I suppose, not to bring Eubank Jr. into it, but he always kind of looked at himself as a bit of a lone wolf, didn't he? And a bit of a guy that was kind of going to guide himself. But I think he's picking that up now in his later years, isn't he? He's kind of now really adapting and taking on that role. But as I say, to have him in your corner, mate, that's incredible, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, exactly that. Look, I'm just grateful for the things that he shares. Roy is such a such a boxing man. Like he will study the sport. Like he watches things that you wouldn't even think to pick up on. And I didn't either. Like, listen, I won about 8, 9 national titles. I beat Olympians. I beat good kids over the years. And not saying that I felt like I knew it all, but like when I watch fights, I watch them in a certain way. But then when I'm sat with Roy and we're watching fights together, I'm like, wow, like he just picked up silly little things. Well, what you would think are silly, but they're so small and he's so right. And now I'm putting it into my game. And like, funny enough, I was texting him today, and we were just chatting about some of my pad work and the smallest, simple little things. And I'm just like, I can't believe I'm not doing that. Do you know what I mean? But we're just, every day we're just trying to perfect things every single day. And I'm excited. It's always everything's different. Like he's a proper character. So like everything changed. He's mad. He can't. It's not structured. If you know what I mean. He's unbelievable.
yeah, yeah. Well, and that's what you want, isn't it? When you're in a ring, if you're almost structured too much, it's hard to come out of it. Where if you've got a guy that's so sort of slick and has different routes and has different plans, then it makes you a tougher fighter, doesn't it? That if something isn't going your way, you can adapt and
Exactly that. He probably forgot more things than what most people know. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got that much knowledge. He's probably forgot more than what people actually know of the sport. So no, it's good. And like I said, I'm excited to really kick on now. We had our first fight together in April. Got ourselves a good win there, and now we kick on. Just keep active. That's the main thing. And I'm excited.
Yeah, and the WBO Global Belt puts you in a good position as well. It sits you in the rankings in number 1. That's the place you want to be, mate. And next, as you say, you're looking upwards.
Yeah, exactly that. Look, we're very highly ranked with the BO. And I'm just waiting. Everybody knows my politics that I've dealt with the BO. But had fighters overstep me when they shouldn't have been in that position to fight for world titles. However, look, I can't moan. It is what it is. I'm in that position. I'm waiting for my call. But in the meantime, there are going to be new belts on the line and things happening in the next fight in September.
Yeah, yeah. So as you say, September coming up quick. How's your camp going? Because obviously it's just started at the moment. So you're just kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, camp's been brilliant. Now it's more like everything's kind of getting structured correctly how I want it. I've got some good team. I've got Richard Sawyer, obviously my original trainer from back in the day as an amateur. I've got Ian Weaver, who's a phenomenal fighter himself, and who also spent a lot of time in the States. Been in the Mayweather gyms, the wildcard gyms. He's been all around there. So the bags of knowledge himself. And then obviously we've got Roy. So the camp's coming on really well. And yeah, I'm just excited. Just excited to be back and be active. Hopefully I can finish the year with 3 fights and 2 more big fights now.
Yeah, yeah. As I say, the year's disappearing, isn't it, mate? This year has just gone so quick. And as you say, if you can fit in those couple of big fights before the end of the year, mate, you're going to be laughing at you going into the next year.
Flying. Exactly that. Look, there's no reason that if everything goes well, there's no reason why we can't have a world title fight by December. Do you know what I mean? It all depends on Navarrete and Valdez next. Obviously, I'm calling for final eliminators with certain fighters. But yeah, there are things and there's teams that we're in talks to negotiations as we speak. So hopefully within the next few days, week or so, we can start announcing what the crack is.
Well, I'm not fishing for anyone, but who would you want to fight, Archie? Who's the guy you want?
The fights that I want are obviously the world champions. You know what I mean? They're the fights that I want yesterday. Like, it's simple as that. But like I said, unfortunately, I come across some politics in the BO, and things haven't kind of planned out how they should have planned out. So therefore, we've got to look at other options and other things. And there's some fights there, and there's some belts there that will rank you highly in other organisations as well that kind of can get over the line. But Foster obviously got the WBC world title.
Yeah,
It's definitely a potential fight that I'm keen for. That Cordina's got IBF. I think once obviously I'm
mate,
not
that'd be a
ranking.
great fight. That'd be a
Yeah, I
great
don't.
fight.
Unbelievable fight. And look, we've shared the ring a few times ourselves, but I don't think I'm not ranked in the IBF at the minute. So look, I've got to maybe have a fight or two to get myself highly ranked there. So we'll see.
Yeah. As you say, it comes down to a lot of politics and being in the right
Exactly.
place. And I know that you've kind of struggled with that, being where you are and other people taking advantage. Don't want to dwell on it, but hopefully you can get yourself in those positions and get what you deserve, mate. At the end of the day, you've worked hard, you've put yourself in a position, and you deserve a shot. So let's just hope we get to see it soon, mate.
Yeah, God willing, it'll all plan out. And but I know, like I say, I'm thankful to be in the position. So I know there's been a bit ups and downs, but I think timing is, like I said at the start, timing is definitely a big part of it. And now with my team concrete, if you like, it'll all work out. We'll work out in good timing.
Yeah, definitely, Archie. Well, honestly, mate, I've chuffed to have had you on. Before I get rid of you, obviously we've got Joshua versus White 2 coming up. Big one. Obviously, like a grudge from previous. We've got Dillian White still banging on about the amateur the amateur side of things. Joshua obviously got the win last time. How do you see this one going, mate?
To be honest with you, it's an R1 to call really, because
two very different fighters now, aren't
they? Yeah, Dillian White didn't look great against Fury, did he? He looked useless. So and AJ's always in the last few fights, people it's fair to say that he's looking very gun shy. So I believe it's a 50-50 fight. They're talking about AJ and Wilder after. Am I correct by saying something in December?
December time.
So they're already talking things they shouldn't even be talking about in a minute, because what they got in front of them, Dillian White first, is a very, very hard fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, as you know, you should never overlook anyone. Like, look at the guy in front of you, and that's it. But yeah, as you say, it's a tough one to call. But someone's just jumped in, Archie, before you go, mate. Archie Sharp against Woodstock in Leicester 4 years ago was an absolute epic fight for 2018 for sure. Who would you say has been your toughest opponent to date?
Toughest opponent, I would probably have to say, and this is not just due to ability-wise or anything like that, because look, I boxed some good kids, and I think it's fair to say, ability-wise, I boxed better in the amateurs. Do you know what I mean? Like the McCormicks, the Callum Frenches, like there's some unbelievable fighters that I've been in the ring with back in the day. But I mean, for myself was the Ramlavs fight, because it was not just because of the ability. Like I say, like, he's a very good kid, and he was unbeaten himself. But it was due to the fact that I boxed with a few issues that was going on outside the ring. I wasn't 100% fitness wise. I was a bit unwell. There was a few demons that I was fighting against there myself, plus the fighter who also was an elite fighter himself, who actually boxed Joe Cordina in the World Games. So I would say Ramlaz was probably my toughest fight. Like I say, ability, was a good kid, but also there was a few other things I had to really bite down on the gum shield at certain points there.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Archie's told you, and we're going to look forward to what he brings us. Next two fights, he's going to be there. We know it. And honestly, Archie, I've got no doubt about it, mate. You can see how driven you are. You've got the family in place. The team are behind you. Everything's there. All the ingredients are put together now, and it's just the drive to get that world title that you deserve, mate. So, mate, we just wish you all the best.
No, thank you very much. And I appreciate you having me on today. Thank you.
No, thanks, Archie. And as I say, love to the family, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Good, mate. God bless you, mate. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you very much for your time.
Mate.
Thank you. Well, Archie Sharp, the boy to watch. He's going to go for his world title just you wait and see. Follow him on all of his social medias. Get behind him. Support him all the way. And as I say, he's going to be a world champion. I've got no doubt about it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out the rest of the content when you get the chance. And I'll see you all soon. Have some of this.